Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Atrax.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right, we are the Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, September 8th, 2022, and you can find this Order 166 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere you can find a podcast in the galaxy far, far away. And now you can hear and watch every single Working Class Nerds episode on the YouTubes. But you can really come watch me play video games Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
And you can see me play video games better than Nick, Monday nights at twitch.tv/A_Atrax.
And you can find the both of us on Twitter. I'm at MarcusB814.
And I am at Atrax_A. And this week's episode, wow, can't even say it properly, features a cabinet maker gone content creator and a for fun gamer trying to make awesome videos. That's right, it's Atrax and Marcus.
That's right, with Nick gone at a paintball tournament in Chicago and no guest. It's just going to be Atrax and I talking gaming, videos, and whatever else the sidebars allow. I'm ready to go. What about you, Atrax?
Oh yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Right. I'm ready to start the convo. All right. Well, I guess first things first, back in the streaming world regularly Monday nights. It's been awesome. Thank you to everybody who's shown up and shown support. It's been overwhelming despite just streaming one night a week. It's amazing to me, actually.
Yeah, so when we talked about this before, right? So like we talked about you because you took a break for a couple months. And like for me, for you, I was like, just come back for one day because I know you're busy with video stuff and all the extra stuff in your life. And I feel like if you stream one day a week and you're not like trying to do multiple days, but you do one day a week, I feel like you get a better quality product from it.
Yeah, and for me, I've always, like, in the back of my head, wanted to make use of the VODs as like a double whammy of, oh, I can, stream and also have some sort of content that I can then turn into a video. I've seen so many of the content creators I enjoy do that exact same thing. And so I even like kind of combined the ideas, and you and I talked about it, and it's a bullet point here I'm excited to get into. I did a video editing stream one Monday night. I actually can't remember what it was. You were there for a little bit. I made a new portion of my BRB screen live on stream. And I had some pre-recorded footage, and the goal was to just like, the video idea was already made. It was just put it together on stream. People could come in and stop by. And I'm almost a little sad that it was a Monday night because a lot of people said, "Oh, I would love to stop by and like hang around a lot longer, but I have to go to bed because there's work tomorrow." So maybe I'll plan something because people seemed really into it. I'll plan something on a night where people can actually stay up, on a Saturday or something, or maybe a Friday. Who knows? But a lot of people really seemed to enjoy that editing stream. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for that. And two, now I have a great little section for my BRB screen, and people who were there and saw me make it now every time that goes on, they're like, I remember when you made this on stream. So that's been super awesome.
But the other thing too is I think there's a misconception in video editing and making videos, because when you talk to people, they're like, oh, that's just easy. It's not that hard to make video. But then when they see somebody make a video on stream, it makes you go, whoa, that's actually really hard. And you're like, yeah dude, it's not easy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it almost generates more respect,
Right.
and it makes people appreciate what goes into video editing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when like there'd be times where I would grab a clip, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, this fits perfectly in here." And someone in chat's like, "Huh? What are you talking about? Why?" And then it was kind of interesting because I've never had to really explain why I put a certain shot or I did a certain thing there. So it kind of helped me learn too of like, "Oh yeah, maybe I don't necessarily need to use this here. Maybe a better shot fits." Or vice versa, where I can then pass on to somebody else like, well, this was my reasoning here because it fits with this music beat, or it sets up this next clip better because of how the motion fits, between clips and whatnot. So it is kind of nice in that. It was nice in that respect to have other people like just kind of not necessarily nitpicking and being like, oh, you picked the wrong thing, but just they're interested and they're like, oh, why did you do that? That's kind of strange. I wouldn't have expected that. And then when you explain to them why, their mind is like not blown, but they're just like, oh, hey, I learned something today. That's always fun when you can teach somebody else something that you enjoy and you're passionate about.
100%. I think you're on the right track, and I think you should do that more often. And I'm not your content creator. Like, I'm not planning
Right.
your streams, but like for me, I feel like if you're showing people how to do that, you're also inviting people to say, "Hey, I want Greenbot to make my video." You know what I mean? And
Yeah, that's right.
and I would say, even if you're making, like, if you're making like a short for me or Chimeri or somebody else you're working with, it would be also cool if you made one on stream of, hey, I'm gonna make Marcus's short, because let's say, I'm gonna talk out of school here. Let's say it takes you an hour and a half or 2 hours to make a short, right? I'm just saying.
Right.
But what if you're like, hey, I'm going to make a short on stream, and if it usually takes an hour and a half and now it's 2 hours because you have the chat and you're chatting, but people see a short start from a clip and end in a finished product. People are like, holy cow, that's freaking awesome. And then they go to whatever channel it's on to actually watch it uploaded in the finished product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It is
Um,
it is super exciting.
but it's going to, for me now, it's going to be really interesting to see, what you can do, because I attribute 1 day a week streaming to almost like Nick and I podcasting only once every 2 weeks. Because like the first few years we did this, 2 years, we did every other week.
Right.
And you get to a point where, like, I think I was there before Nick, and I was like, man, can we do an extra episode? There's, 5 people that want to come on the show, but if you're doing it every 2 weeks, that's 10 weeks somebody has to wait for a show. That's over 2 months. You know what I mean? And
Right. That's only 26 guests a year.
right, exactly. It was only 20. Well, I think we did like 30 episodes the first year. So it's like,
Okay.
it's not a lot. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it worked for us. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
not complaining. I'm just comparing it to the same thing. And you're going to find to, like, okay, do I want to dedicate one stream a week, the one stream I do a week, to just video editing, or do I want to play games too with people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I did. It's kind of funny. I started off streaming with a very like rigid schedule. I was streaming 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, but every day was like a specific game. And then when I switched to the weekends, I started doing this thing where I would stream 2 games a stream. And I've done that now on Mondays, and I've really enjoyed it. The people that have stuck around have also said that they've enjoyed it too. Chat seems pretty happy and active, and everybody's, oh yeah, hey, now we're switching it up to this game, and they get to see the BRB screen, right, that I made for the video or on the editing stream, all that stuff. So, um, people have been. It's kind of odd. You would think like, oh, it's for sure just a one game a stream. You have to stick to that. But every once in a while, you can get away with being able to play 2 games a stream. For me, I try to make it, because it's the one stream, I try to go for at least 4 hours. So that's at least 2 hours per game. Sometimes it's like 3 hours of one and then an hour of another one, but
I,
it's been good.
I agree. That's why you know me really well.
Yeah.
That's why I could never do that. It's not saying that it's a bad thing. I just could never do it because like
Right.
my mental state, like I remember doing a long stream
Mm-hmm.
and I always said, "Oh, I'm going to switch to another game." But I feel like once you get once I get sunk into a game, like I can't leave it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But one
That's
game
fair.
But one game that you do play and I don't have, that I do want to get, but I don't really understand the way it is, and we'll talk about it, is multiverses, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
I consider that like Super Smash Brothers, not Nintendo.
Yep, that's basically it. It's Warner Brothers, Smash Brothers. Um, I think it feels to me, it almost feels like simpler and slightly less polished than Smash, which is why I enjoy it. And I mean, of course, it has Harley Quinn, so immediately that makes it better than Smash Brothers to me. But I I find it kind of simpler because there's only special attacks, and then like the direction up, left, down, right, and then neutral attacks up, left, down, right. But in Smash, I think there's three different. There's normal, heavy, and then special attack, in addition to like your dodges and stuff. Um, so it feels like the controls are simpler, but then you have this aspect with these perks that you can unlock and that you can train on your different characters, which give I have no clue, like no idea about the perks. I would say, and even in terms of like knowing what to do, Marcus, you and I are probably on the same wavelength of just like, okay, like spam moves and try not to get hit by their stuff. I mean, that's pretty much my strategy. I don't really, I'm not very good at it, but I really enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun to me. It definitely has the Smash Bros. Vibes, and a lot of people compare it to Smash. It's impossible not to, but I think as its own game, it stands alone really well. And they have all sorts of awesome avenues for characters that could be released. Already they've released LeBron James and Morty. You've got Rick, you've got who was on the cover? There's someone on the cover right now. I think is it Black Adam or maybe Shazam? I can't remember. But I mean, just Warner Brothers has so many IPs. They already have Arya Stark in there, so you have all of the Game of Thrones stuff.
Because
You've
that's
got
all owned by Warner Brothers.
right. And then you have DC, you have Scooby Doo, which means you have a ton of those Cartoon Network characters and things like that. I mean, it's just the character list is, I would almost argue, bigger than the character list that Nintendo and Smash Brothers could get. Just because of how much Warner Brothers owns in media. They have a bunch of superheroes and villains and TV show characters and things like that.
So what what I'm going to say is the simpler is more difficult is not always better. Simpler that's why you could be having more fun. You could say it's Harley Quinn and that might be it, but at the same time too, you might be enjoying the simpleness of it because and you say more polished. Of course, let's face it, 99% of Nintendo's IPs are polished perfectly for when they release. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, you get crazy day one patches on things, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you know, you might get a little patch on a Nintendo Switch game, but not like what's that game? Anthem. You know what I mean? Anthem had like
Oh
10
man.
gig day one patch. You know what I'm saying? So
Or
like
like the current Call of Duty with 80 gig patches and stuff like that.
that's
Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
goodness.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. So like it's hard to compare that because like Breath of the Wild 2. I think Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out in 23. Um and when that game comes out, that game's going to come out perfect. They're not going to release that game with a bug. Or and if it has one, it's because somebody climbed up some mountain that nobody ever climbed. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, it's not part of like the main story where it's like, oh, you can't complete the story because the storyline quest is bugged. It's like, oh yeah, I got stuck in a boulder because I was trying to explore this one little corner of the map where there's nothing.
Right. But imagine being the testers for a game like Breath of the Wild, trying to do like you have to do everything in the game 100 different ways.
Yeah.
I don't think I
Oh
could do it.
man. Well, and the thing is, Nintendo has a formula for their games, which I'm not even complaining. It's just like it seems to be a fact. Like every year, or not every year, but every generation of Nintendo console, in my memory, has like the same basic games that are more or less the same, but have slightly different aspects to them, right? Like you've got your Mario sports games like tennis and golf and baseball. And then now you have like the Wii Sports and stuff, but you also have Smash Bros. Like you mentioned, you have Zelda, you have now you have Splatoon. I'm sure that there's a Fire Emblem. There's Sonic as well. Like there's just so many well established games they're more or less the same game, but they have new aspects and they are very much fun. I still crack out the old Mario Tennis. I love Mario Tennis. I still play it. I buy all the new Mario Tennis games because it's I don't know, it's just good, awesome fun. It's always a good time. And yeah, that's hard to go up against when you're I can't think of. I guess there's the Injustice games, but that's really it. And that's not even in the same arena. That's more like Mortal Kombat style, you know?
I do.
I don't know. I'm sure that the 2D fighting community is going to come after me. No, they're not the same. This and that. But
Well, yeah, of course, but to us it is the same. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
But here's the thing I'm going to say about Nintendo. Nintendo I call is like all reliable, right? Like everybody has I'm going to say a cereal, okay? Everybody loves cereal. Right. Whoever, if you like cereal, you like cereal, but you might love Frosted Flakes. Everybody always has their go to. I'll give an example. Mine is Raisin Nut Bran. No matter where I am, if that cereal's there, I can eat it. Honey Bunches of Oats, no problem. But my all time favorite, Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? No
All
matter
right.
what,
Yeah.
you get, if I really want Honey Bunches of Oats, but we don't have Honey Bunches of Oats, old man, then you got Frosted Flakes. 90% of the time, they're going to say, yeah, we got Frosted Flakes.
Mhm.
You know what I
You
mean?
know what's funny? Even in high school, Raisin Bran was one of my favorite cereals, and I got made fun of so much. What, you don't like Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, blah blah? I'm like, no, I enjoy those, but right when I wake up, I don't want to get a sugar crash in the morning. Mornings are already tough for me. I just
That
need
is true.
I need the Raisin Bran cereal. I need that bran, the sweetness from the raisins, and some milk to just like that jolt of energy to get me going. For me, the Captain Crunch and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, those are like midnight snack cereals. Cereal is a great food, it feels like, pretty much any time of the day. But the sugary cereals I leave for the late night hours.
And I understand that, right? But
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just, for me, there's always something. So Nintendo is like, if they have the mentality, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
right.
Because if their games work, why change them? You know,
And
you got Mario Kart. Mario Kart is the exact same Mario Kart that it's been since the Super Nintendo. Upgraded graphics, new tools, new toys, like new weapons, but it's the same game.
Yep.
But you know what? It's still the best-selling game out of every console.
Really?
I think Matt. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna Google it.
Oh, you're gonna have to Google that one now.
Sold
I'm
Switch.
I'm pretty sure now it's gonna get eclipsed by.
What is the most sold game on Switch? Mario 8, Mario Kart Deluxe. The Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling game on the platform at over 46 million copies sold.
Wow. Is that, I wonder though, because they include Mario Kart 8 with a lot of the console sales. Does that also, is that copies? I wonder if that's copies included
It's all of
in.
them. It's the
Right.
most sold Switch game. That's it.
Yeah.
In the last 30 days. But here's another one. You ready for this?
Yeah.
What is the number one most sold game ever?
Tetris.
Nope.
No, it's not Tetris anymore.
Nope.
What is it now?
Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft beat out Tetris. I'm kind of sad about that one.
238 million copies.
Wow.
What's in second place?
Uh, Please tell me it's Tetris now.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, that game's
Uh,
been out for what, 10 years or something? Pretty
well,
close to
yeah,
it.
yeah, September, 9 years. But what I'm
Oh,
saying
nine.
is 169 million copies.
Grand Theft Auto has 69. Nice.
Yes, but hear me out. Everybody complains on why GTA 6 isn't out. Why do they need to release it right away? People
Right.
keep buying it. They keep
Yep.
re-releasing it on different things and oh, game of the year, oh, DLC, oh this, all this. Uh blah blah blah. Boom. 169. Okay. Third place I'll give you is Tetris at 100 million.
Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna have to go out there and buy like 70 million copies of Tetris just to put it in the second place spot.
All right. Fourth is Wii Sports at 82,900,000.
Wow. So, well, okay, so Wii Sports came with
A Wii.
every single Wii.
Right.
I don't know a single person that bought Wii Sports, the Wii version of Wii Sports, like actually bought it because it came with the console.
Right. So
I wonder.
I'm going to give you top 10, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Just because fifth place, which is shocking to me, is PUBG Battlegrounds at 75 million.
That shocks me, but also at the same time, it keeps coming up on lists of popularity. And the more I hear about PUBG, the more I realize it was a huge thing. Like,
Well,
I never realized
it
how
was the
huge it
first
was.
battle, whatever that battle arena, whatever kind of game that is.
Yeah, well, and when you think of it, like Shroud played it a ton, Ninja played, like that was the big stream game at the time. Everybody was playing it.
Right. Yep. So, all right. So, what was that? No, that was number 5. Number 6, Super Mario Brothers for original Nintendo. That's at 58 million, which just so we're on the same page, you can buy Super Mario Brothers now for the Switch for like $10. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
Coming in 7th place is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 55 million copies. Number 8 is Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow, which came out in 96 at 47 million copies. Number 9 is Red Dead Redemption 2. Wow. 45 million copies. Jeez, Rockstar just crushes it.
Yep.
Coming in 10th place is Terraria. Wow.
That's
That is
that's very shocking to me. I've
well,
played
that was the
Terraria, it's
first.
fun, but
Well, yeah, but that was like the first time you got a really hard Metroidvania style platformer. That was
yeah,
like the first
I
one.
suppose that's this generation's of.
and I'm just going to
That
give, okay,
style, yeah.
so I just got to give a couple honorable mentions, but the first is number 11, which is Wii Fit. So all the people who really wanted to get fit in 2007 and had a Wii, they all bought the Wii Fit.
The
Okay.
people that actually wanted to not play video games and do something
Right.
exercise friendly.
Yep. So coming in at number 13 is Pac-Man. Number 14 is The Witcher 3. Shout out to Nick. Animal Crossings came in 15th with 39 million copies. But oh, yeah, here we go. So tied at 20, and this is where I'll stop. Tied for 20 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare that came out in 2019. Oh, because wow, that was the one when they first did their Warzone.
Yep.
Diablo 3,
Ooh.
Human Fall Flat. I don't know what that is. And Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. I thought there would be more copies of that gun game sold.
Yeah. That's surprising.
And coming in at 50th place is Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Oh, that was a fun sidebar.
Yeah. You
Um,
gotta love game lists.
yeah, so the other thing, you do you watch competitive esports?
Yes. Great segue. It's funny. The only thing that sports fans and I have in common is that like we're interested in a team atmosphere. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. So I used to watch a lot of League of Legends professional scene. I had a couple of really favorite players, but then all those players retired. So I've kind of fallen out of that scene, but I've really been into the Counter-Strike scene. Since 2018, I've really followed it. The Astralis era, they were the super dominant team at the time. I really enjoyed watching them play. Now, that team of players has split up, and more or less, the teams that those players have gone to have done relatively well. So Vitality is one of my favorite teams. They've gone, I think, was it 2 or 3-0 in their series? So they've been on a winning streak. G2, which is a now an international squad, with someone from North America and a few people from the European scene. They went 4-0 these last 2 days, Wednesday and today. Got to watch those games, which was super exciting. FaZe Clan, which has another couple of people from, or one person from North America who I've been following since 2018, 2019. They went, let's see, they went 4-1 in their games. So all of my favorite Counter Strike teams have just been popping off lately, and it has been super super fun to um, watch those pro players
You know,
go.
it's funny because like the world we live in is always like clickbait, right?
Right.
And hearing you and the passion for esports is crazy because I read articles and like watch videos and stuff all the time on how like the esports scene is dying completely. There's no future in it and all this stuff. And then I'm hearing you and I'm listening to the passion. You're as passionate as you are for your esports team as that Nick is for the New England Patriots. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. Me and a couple of my friends, one in particular, have always said that if there is any like CS:GO event in our area, whether it's like just somewhere on the West Coast, within a day or two driving distance, where we could drive for like, you know, less than 15 hours or whatever to the event area, go and then come back or stay there. Like, we 100% want to go to a CS:GO event because those live events are just so, I don't know. It's the exact same atmosphere as a traditional sporting event. Like, you watch some of these CS:GO or even League of Legends, like the League of Legends Worlds event. The crowds are just as amped up, and the broadcast team is just as into it, and they do such a great job. One thing that I really like about esports, it's the only thing I can really compare it to is kind of like traditional sports is, for like a football game or a basketball game or hockey or tennis, those games can go on for a couple of hours, and there's so many like commercial breaks in between unless you buy the season pass or whatever. But
Sure.
with esports, generally speaking, like if you watch a league game or if you watch a CS:GO game, there's no super long ad breaks. Even if you're like a free viewer on Twitch, your ad breaks are going to be at halftime or in between the matches. So you're not actually missing the gameplay, and at least in my experience so far. So that's what, at least for me, makes it really entertaining to watch. And of course, when you play these video games and then you want to see how the pros do it, so you can try and extrapolate whatever you can for your own personal game, even though it won't help you because you can't set up the same way a 5-man pro team where their whole, literally their job, where they get paid insane amounts of money, to play video games is just, there's no way you could set up that scenario for yourself. But sometimes it works out and you feel pretty good. You're like, yeah, my favorite pro player pulled this playoff and I just did it. Like, let's go. Gives you that jolt of excitingness.
Yeah.
And it's kind of another thing that I've been doing in the CS:GO community, which I think is kind of cool. Um, and it's kind of along the lines of watching, but not really. Is in CS:GO there is a system called the CS:GO Overwatch system, and
Overwatch.
after Overwatch, yeah. Um,
Slayer.
and they bring in the cavalry of good players. And if once you reach a certain rank, you unlock Overwatch cases, which you can review reported cheaters, and then and there's I don't know how Valve like throws these out or determines which case to give which player, but basically once you reach a certain rank, you can then watch these cases of people playing the game, and it's up to you and other players of your skill to determine if the person is cheating or not. And generally, when I watch these Overwatch cases, it is a very blatant, like, the dude is looking at the ground, spinning around, and landing headshots. It's a classic spin botter. It's very, very clear that this person is locking onto their head, or seeing them through the wall or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
it's still, I think it's a super cool system. At least for me, I really enjoy it. Some of the content creators that I watch also do these, like they live stream their Overwatch cases or they record and make funny content about it. But I think it's a cool system to a couple of people that and you don't see names, it just says like the suspect, and then it gives generic names for the other people to kind of give them, like anonymity. But I still think it's a kind of a cool way because cheating is a big problem in pretty much any game. There's
Any
hackers
first
like,
person shooter.
well, I don't think it's just first person shooters. Like MMOs have the problem with cheaters, like action RPGs. There's like the fighting game community now in multiverses. There's AFK bots, which just will like go into a match and spam moves so that you can farm gold while you're away from your computer. And like every game has cheaters and hackers because people just want to do that. Like it's hard not to it's hard to solve that problem. But I like this idea where they have this kind of overwatch where the community can pitch in, and 90% of the cases it's very blatant and obvious. But there are those couple cases where sit there and look in and you're like, man, is this guy cheating? I don't know. I'm not sure. So that's fun. And then too, like my buddy who also is that rank, him and I will stream our Overwatch cases and we'll just sit together and do like 3 or 4 of them and determine, oh yeah, that guy's definitely cheating. Well, I don't know. It's good times. It's lots of good times off stream.
But it's also free policing for Valve.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get somebody like, I'm sure they have somebody that watches these and they look back, but if you and your buddy find a blatant cheater and they catch it, that per dude's getting banned.
Well, and the same case is sent to like, five of the same people. So if all five people come to the exact same conclusion, yeah, this guy had aim hack, wall hack, and he was, he had other hacks like he was bunny hopping around the map or he was, seeing through smokes, all that sort of
Yeah.
crap. Um, then it's immediate ban. Yeah, like you said, it's free policing. They could just set up some automated system where if 10 Overwatch people determine all the same verdict, then it just bans them for that action. And it's awesome. I love the system that is in place. Now it can be abused, sure, but that's any system that gets put into place, right?
I remember back when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 came out, the original.
Yeah.
And there was, I don't remember the map. I was running one day and I fell through underneath the map,
Uh-huh.
but I could be underneath the map, but nobody could shoot me.
Oh yeah, and then you could shoot them, right?
Yes, I got 100 kills in a match. Everybody, and now I'm playing with all my buddies, and they're laughing, and it like I couldn't get out, and I couldn't
Right.
die, so
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it for the rest of the match, and then it got fixed. But then people found out where this location was because Call of Duty didn't fix it for like a month. And anytime you got in that map, people just went under the map and just killed everybody. It
Yeah.
just became a thing. You know what I mean? And then they fixed it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I would say definitely Activision is terrible at fixing bugs
Yeah, there's a
of a fixing bugs at a of a mainstream AAA game.
right. Well, it's kind of funny because it's funny we talk about like slow to fix bugs, and CS:GO has been the topic for the last couple of minutes because the CS:GO devs are like notoriously slow for fixing things. There have been bugs that have been in the game for like years and they haven't fixed it. Now, my assumption is at this point, they probably just don't know how to fix it. They're like, well, there's nothing we can do unless we, completely restructure the whole game. And they're not going to do that, right? I'm sure there's some bugs in games that just the game doesn't allow it to work that way. But yeah, there's some very game breaking bugs, and another good example, well, yeah, another great example is like Battlefield, the latest Battlefield 2042, where there's the what was it, the infinite health bug, and like there's just so many. Just there's It's tough. It's got to be tough to be a game developer. Speaking of tough to be game
Wait,
developers,
wait, wait, wait. It
yeah.
is tough to be a game dev, and I give them all credit. But I actually feel bad for game devs because the publishing companies fuck them over all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah, or
And
like the advertising, the marketing
no,
team.
no, fuck the marketing team. It's the publishing company and the boards. 24 Battlefield for 2042 should have never launched, and they ruined the
Yeah.
game because they launched it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? So I you know, but I say it like this. I look at like, okay, like Activision. Clearly Activision sucks because Bungie got the fuck out of their contract, right?
Right.
Obviously EA sucks ass because Anthem was not ready to be launched. Obviously uh uh
Battlefront 2 still
Battlefront,
deserves love.
Battlefield 2, EA, fuck them. They were like, it has to launch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and I feel like Bungie proved that it doesn't matter when your game launches. It's good if it's good, people are going to play it because they delayed Witch Queen by 3 or 4 months, and it came out in February, and people were like, "Oh, February release, ugh." ugh, you know what I mean? And it fucking
Right.
crushed. So
Yeah.
I think like game devs, they're doing the best they can, but they're also answering to a board of directors who have no idea what game development is like. They're just like, man, better be ready because we need to hit our numbers for quarter three, 2022, or you're fired. You know what I mean?
Right.
And and speaking of that, like I look at like World of Warcraft, right? World of Warcraft right now is, in my opinion, is in a pinnacle, a penultimate part of the game's life. I feel like they have an expansion coming. It's called Dragon Zone,
Dragonflight.
Dragon Dick.
Yeah.
Uh sorry. So Dragonflight.
Yeah.
And I feel like this expansion has to be good like Legion. If it's another flop like Shadowlands and what was the one before that? Or
Battle for Azeroth.
Battle for Azeroth, the game's done. I
Yeah.
like people are like, oh, the game's dead now. Well, you guys have been saying the game's been dead for 8 years and it continues, right? So clearly they're still making money. The the point is, I feel like if Dragonflight comes out and it's boom banging or top tier, as you would say it, or just a quality expansion that lasts longer than 45 minutes of story, I feel like the game is going to be reinvigorated. And
I
people are going to look past all the negative bullshit that they've gone through, which people already have. I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I think you're pretty spot on. I hope that it is a I don't even think that it has to be like groundbreaking, amazing, this or that. It just has to be quality. Every expansion in my mind, right? Because it's an expansion. It's expanding on current content. Expanding the world. You just you want to try and please the three main groups, right? You want sufficient story content for those that really enjoy the lore and the story. There's the late game raiding, which a lot of people enjoy, and then there's the late game PvP, right? Those are like the three kind of categories, I guess, in an MMO, at least from what I've gathered. I'm not a game dev or even close to it, but all these MMO expansions kind of have these three prongs to attack. And the tough part, I've actually really enjoyed the zones and more or less the story in Shadowlands, and I'm probably going to get flamed for it because I'm just a new player, right? I've only been playing since the just before they squished the level cap from 120 back down to 60, and I've only been playing on and off since. I wouldn't consider myself maybe like an average player or an intermediate player, but by no means am I an expert. But for me, what I what I enjoyed about Shadowlands, I liked that the zones were different and they were kind of spread out, and the story more or less was actually kind of cool. But from again, new player's perspective, but the big tough part was that it just felt like there were all these random systems in place that you knew you were going to ditch them at the end of the expansion, but you really wanted to get through it because there were a lot of cool transmogs and stuff that you wanted to get, which I guess is kind of the pull of every MMO, but
Sure.
there were just so many. I mean, there's four different covenants, and you've got to grind the reputation and the renown for it. And then on top of that, each covenant had, I don't know, three or four different things that you could spend currency to level up, and then those unlocked quests which you could then I don't know, to me it just seemed like way too much. I'd be fine if there's like one or two systems with a really long grind, but eight different systems with a really long grind is just I don't know, maybe they know a lot more. I'm sure they know a lot more about their WoW players than I do, but for me now with Dragonflight, I like the idea of the different covenants with the areas, but please just one system or maybe two so that when I create, I can have 3 or 4 alts that have a more or less like different experience, a different vibe to it. But then, you know, it's not, oh, well, I have to spend hours on hours a day, like I play, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours a week. No, that's not right. Maybe 5 or 6 hours a week.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't played that much lately. But
That's a
that's
lot
because I'm spread across so many games. 5, 6 hours a week is a lot. Oh
on
shoot.
one game.
Yeah.
Let's see. I play. So let's say I stream 3 nights a week for, let's say, 3 hours, right? So I played 9 hours on stream, and I maybe, if I'm lucky, I get to play another 2 hours a week. So I play a total of 11 hours a week of gaming.
Wow. All right. All right. Perspective wise, then yes, that's a lot.
Well, just for me, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
get to start playing video games at 8:30 at night.
Right.
And
Man.
2 nights a week, so 2 nights a week, one's podcast, one's bro night with my uncle and Nick. And
Hmm.
then that's 2 nights gone. And then I stream 3 days a week. And then I get, if I'm lucky, I get one extra game night a week. And then I need one night a week where I just sit there and do nothing.
Wow. Well, so then this may impress you even more. Despite that many hours, I feel, and maybe it's because I got started later in the expansion, but I feel so like there's still so much stuff for me to get, and it's just not gonna happen. Like there's still 2 covenants that I haven't selected yet. I've only been working on 2, which is half of them, and trying to get all of the stuff for the systems. Um, and maybe there are people out there, well, you're not using the optimal routes and this and that. It's like, well, so what? I should just be able to play the game. Anyway, I won't get into a rant too much. I really enjoy WoW. I really hope that with Dragonflight, they simplify the systems just a little bit and really put forth effort into the PvP section and the late game raids and dungeons. Um, there's no way to really solve like a toxicity problem because I've noticed that seems to be a trend in the community. Um, I've been very fortunate to find a guild. Shout out to the Kitchen Table Warriors and Drakar, our wonderful guild leader. I have had some amazing people to group with and to do Mythic Plus dungeons. We haven't done any raiding yet, but I think with Wrath of the Lich King, when that classic launches, we'll be doing some classic raiding, just 10-man raiding, which I'm super excited about because outside of Destiny 2, I've never done raids before. So I'm excited to get that kind of done. And speaking of Destiny 2, great segue. I've started playing Destiny 2 a little bit here and there with Marcus because, and I literally wrote this in the notes, trying Destiny 2 because dot dot dot, I don't fucking know. I don't know why I'm playing Destiny. I think it's just I've edited, Marcus, I've edited so many of your shorts and videos, and your positive influence is now wearing me off to where I'm like, it does look kind of fun to just run around and shoot some Vex and some Fallen and whatever the other enemies are, the Cabal, that's what they're called, and just like vibe out. You've inspired me, Marcus, to come vibe and hang out with you. So I have the prodigal son. Fun whose line reference. Prodigal son returns back to Destiny 2.
Well,
Coming and playing for a little bit.
yeah. So it was awesome playing with you again. But I think you looked at the game wrong the last time. And I'm not telling you played the game wrong. I think you looked at the game wrong, right? I think I think if you go into Destiny, and this is the way I play the game, like you have the mindset of I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, yes,
Right.
if you're going to do raids, there is going to be times where you need a certain style of gun, even though it makes you feel uncomfortable. It might be you need a certain piece of armor that makes you feel uncomfortable to use. But if you're not doing raiding, you can use anything you want.
Yes. And there is, I don't know what gun it was that I'm gonna have to look it up, but I got this AR that I absolutely love. And I found, believe it or not, a sidearm, not a hand cannon, but a sidearm, and it's got like green and pink designs on it, and I've been having a ton of fun with that one.
Dude, I love sidearms. There was a short of me. I went on this crazy rant on stream talking about I love sidearms. And
Yeah.
it's it's amazing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's but it's normal, right? Like
Right.
you like what you like. And like obviously, okay, I love sidearms. I don't go into a raid with a sidearm.
Right. Yeah.
But when you're doing regular activities, there's no reason why you can't because it doesn't fucking matter. The meta does not matter in any other content. But
Right.
but you know, this frustrates people, I'm sure when I say this, but like when I play PvP, I don't care if I win or I lose. Yes, if I go in there and I die 30 times and only get one kill, yeah, that blows, right? Nobody's having fun when that happens.
Of
Nobody.
course.
But if you're in there and you get 5 kills and you're the worst on the team, who cares? You got kills. Like it's not, you're not playing in a CS:GO pro league making 150 grand a year on a team, and if your team wins, you guys win 100 grand split between your 5 guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's nothing, nobody's getting paid to do that. And that's the thing that I always get frustrated with people about, because you're like, some people are like really fucking pissed when they lose, and it's like, bro, you don't win anything if you don't win. Now, if
Or
you want to
or
take
fun
something
gaming.
seriously, go do the ranked trial stuff. You know what I mean? Go do the end game PvP, just like in SWOTOR. You want to take it seriously? Go do ranked PvP or go do nightmare raiding. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like but the casual fun stuff that we did the other night, it doesn't matter what you use.
Mm-hmm.
Use what you want. But if you
Right.
say, "Hey, Marcus, I really want to do the new Raid King's Fall," okay, dude. Well, you're gonna need a good linear fusion rifle, right? Like you're gonna need a couple things to make it easier for us to win. You know what I
Right.
mean? You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
it's a strong suggestion to use something, but you don't have to, and that's a lot different than other people's opinions. I I just like playing the game, and I like using what I like to use.
Right. I
And I
that
don't give a fuck. And I think, and I appreciate you saying that about doing my shorts and it made you want to play the game. Dude, if you come to community clan night once a week and just play, you'll have a blast because it's just fun.
Yeah.
Like nobody's yelling at you that you're not 1585 or 1590. People are just going to play the game with you to have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just gonna vibe.
Like I'll give another example. Free ride and the crew are like, Marcus, you have to get to grandmaster level as fast as you can so you're ready. Between me and you, I'll get there when I get there. I don't care. I am not going to play more than my 12 or 14 hours a week just so I can do grandmasters.
Well, and it's like when you finally get to your 12 or 14 hours a week, you don't want to have to feel so rushed, like, oh, I got to get this done, I got to get that. Then it just feels like another job or another piece of work. When you finally get to your games, you just want to sit down and you just want to play. Like you want to, whatever progression you get, right?
Yes, I was super frustrated with SWOTOR because the requirement in SWOTOR to get gear is you have to do their dailies and weeklies. I
Yeah,
don't want the last thing I want to do is do dailies every day just to be able to earn a piece of gear. What's sweet about Destiny is there's three options for your basic options: three strikes, three crucible matches, three gambit matches, and that's three pinnacle gears, right? There's other options for pinnacles, but you don't have to do them.
right.
And it's just one of those things where like I play this game, like I am a different style of gamer. I just want to have fun. I want everybody to have fun with me. Like, you want to play with me, just come play. You want to do a strike, let's go. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
don't care about the hardest content anymore. When I played SWOTOR and Nightmare Raiding, man, I fucking cared. Like,
yeah,
that's all I wanted. But after I did it, I realized it's not worth it.
right.
Like,
Well, and
I feel like there should be rewards for the hardest content, where like you do Trials of Osiris, which is like the premier PvP in Destiny. If you do that, you earn real weapons that are
mhm.
special than everybody else's. Like, but SWOTOR doesn't do that. You win and you get a title. Like, who cares? I should get an outfit that I can wear around, or every nightmare raid should drop a mount at the
Yeah,
final boss.
that that reminds me, did you ever see the World of Warcraft South Park episode?
Yes.
You remember when they finally like kill the guy and they're like, "Oh man, dude, that was such uber ponage. So, what do we do now?" They're like, "What do you mean, what do we do now? We play the game." "Oh yeah, that's right." And then they go back immediately to like what they were doing right away again. That's kind of what it feels like, where it's like you finally beat the boss. And it's like, "Ah, we did it. Okay, cool. So, what now? You want to run it again?" "Yeah, all right, sure." Like that it's a tricky thing because with an MMO and stuff, you can't, and with just the gaming world in general anymore, you can't, there is nothing that's secret. And if there is, then once it gets found out, it's almost like everybody can do it. Like, yeah, not everybody can do it, but once everybody knows how, then there's all of a sudden there's these floods of optimal guides and routes, and then the devs have to counterbalance to make it harder, and it's it's kind of a never-ending cycle. It's got to be a difficult thing, but
It's
I
not
totally
easy
know
to
what you
be a
mean.
game developer.
No,
No matter what game, you could be doing the tiniest little game or the most detailed game. It doesn't matter. That shit ain't easy.
no,
But what I'll say is, so playing Destiny with you and Doritos this week was really fun for me because it was super lighthearted and it felt good to be playing with you guys. A, because you're my friends, but also two, because like gonna I'm just gonna play it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And like now I look at things as, you know, if I can do that more, great. Like Doritos was a surprise. Like, I played with him a long time ago, and like, and then he got into like level and he was like 1550 or something. I was like, whoa. And I was like, holy shit, I think he's been actually playing this game. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and he is, and it's super awesome. And you know, I don't want to sound like an egomaniac because that's not what I'm saying, but it almost feels like he is playing that because of me. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
It really is the people that you play with. And I have to, once again, I'll kind of end my what I've been up to segment with this last shout out again to the Kitchen Table Warriors. Um, Drakkar specifically has made me feel so welcome, and any question that I've had, or just being, we've done Mythic Plus, which is like kind of the Grandmaster version of
Dungeon.
WoW raids. Yeah, exactly. So it's, you know, it starts off at Mythic Plus, and then you get a numbered keystone. It starts at one, and I believe it goes pretty much up to infinity. But most people, like the real hard pushers, get to like 30 or 40, right?
Sure.
So, but every keystone increases the difficulty. The mobs and have more health and they hit harder. There's affixes which, change gameplay and all the traditional MMO stuff. They have made me feel super non self conscious about like doing DPS or stuff, even though I have my add on and my meter. Hey, don't worry about it. You died. We didn't time it. Whatever. You're just learning. You're vibing. We had a really good time. It was fun. And that really makes any game that you play so much more interesting. Is just playing games, just
Yeah.
the people having that nice calm vibe of, hey, you know what, we didn't win, that's okay, because we all tried our best, we're just vibing, we're gaming. That's
Well,
what games are about.
100%. So I'm just going to say it. That's why I love streaming so much, and where I'm doing my quotation marks, my niche is I just want to play with people. Like, I think like I'm going back to clan night. Like there was a lot of people at clan night this week, and we were shuffling people back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it was so much fun doing that. And oh, all right, I played with this person this match. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do the next strike with you, and bouncing back, and it was so much fun. And then jumping into Saturday night, I made plans with Nubs, Tom Tom, and Lightning, and I did a raid with those guys, and that was so much fun. And I caused the team to wipe a few times because I wasn't paying attention. But it was,
Rip that guy.
yeah, rip that guy. It was fun though. I had so much fun. But I got bit hard this week by
Uh-oh.
like the mental health streaming bug. And I'm not
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm not talking negative, right? Like so everybody knows, like, I work insane hours. I come home and I'm with my kids. Most times when I stream, I'm lucky if I've sat down for 15 minutes before I actually sit down at my computer to stream. And
Yeah.
and I've been exhausted.
It's crazy how many times you message me. You're like, yo, hey man, can we have a quick call before stream? I just sat down at my computer. Like, I finally got home. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I join the call and your stream is already going live. I'm like, bro, didn't you just sit down? You're like, yeah, you got like, we just got 5 minutes. Let's have a quick conversation. It is wild how much you work.
Exactly. And I do it all for my family, right? And but my point is, I got hit hard by the mental health bug this week because I was legit. Like, I think I talked to Atrax at one point, and I was like, dude,
Yep.
I am so tired. I can't. And and I remember you were like, well, take the night off. And I was like, no, that's not who I am.
I to everyone listening, I can confirm this. I was like, dude, just take. Everyone will understand if you say I'm exhausted. I'm gonna take a night off, and he was like, nah, dude, I'm already live. I was like, what?
But that's my commitment because,
That's your mentality.
right. And I feel like even if I'm tired, I just think I just need to explain that to chat. Like, there's other streamers that are just like, look at guys, I'm here. We're going to have fun, but I'm at like 80% me today. I'm tired,
Right.
but we're
Yep.
going to jam. We're going to have fun. We're going to do our thing, but I'm tired today. Like, and I'm not going to be out of control. And I wouldn't say I'm out of control. When somebody does something nice, it's hard for me not to react, tired or not, because it's generous, and people being there and people chatting with me is amazing. But like, I legit went through some mental health shit this week. Like, and I thought, like, maybe do I take a break from streaming? Do I take a break from the podcast? Do I, and I stopped and said, if I stop, let's say I take a week break from streaming, it's not like I'm going to go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. I'm still going to be up because my body is wired to be up until midnight every night. Or I'll lay in
Right.
my bed until fucking midnight playing on my goddamn phone. So
Mm-hmm.
why do that when I can just hang out with all of you?
Or watch. YouTube videos or something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally get that.
yeah, like, and I am such a purposeful person. So what I mean by that is I am I like I think sitting down on the couch and watching TV is a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
All right, fair enough.
Like when I believe like if you keep your brain going, you're not going to lose it. It's almost like in the 40-year-old version. Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it? So for me, I would much rather engage in a Twitch stream or play a video game than watch fucking TV, right? I watch TV shows once a week. And it's no joke when I say that. I watch TV once a week, and that's Wednesday for Bro Night. This week, I
Yeah,
watched
with
the first episode of the Lord of the Rings show.
ooh, how was that?
See, I love Lord of the Rings. I love the movies, and it's not because of the acting, it's because of the scenery. It's like everybody lives in a rural area, and if you're in like a city, it's not like a metropolis like New York City. You know what I mean? It's and I'm sure and there are parts of Lord of the Rings that are that, but like I like the way they film the shows, like the filming of the first episode was unbelievable. Like the shots, like they're over the top of a guy and you can see the waterfall in the background and it's all the scene. And
Oh,
I'm just like, that was, and I called it out yesterday. I was like, that's an amazing shot. And it only lasted 5 seconds, but that probably took somebody hours to make.
oh yeah, 100%. Especially, you know that all those shots are going to be highly critiqued, and especially if it was a visual effects shot, those those take hours.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
most expensive show ever made.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I
Now I
think
have to
like 20
watch it.
something is 20 something $1 million per episode. Yeah,
Wow,
something
that is
crazy. I
insane.
don't quote me on that, but it's ridiculous.
Right.
I'll do the Google. Jamie, how much
Yeah.
did
Nick's not even, speaking of Nick, he literally just sent me a Snapchat of him trying to watch the football game, but it was blocked wherever he's at.
the Lord of the Oh, no, no, no. How much did Lord of the Rings Amazon show cost? Hold on. Amazon's Lord of the Rings to cost 465 million for just one season.
Wow. 465 million? That is insane. So if it's what, 23 episodes, that's 2 million an
Oh, I
episode,
think it's only going to be 10 episodes.
which 10 episodes.
It's
So
not going to be
what?
23 episodes. Like, what
Well,
the
I,
fuck?
I was just doing easy math in my head. Dividing by two was the
No, like,
easiest I could
when
think
is
of.
the season 23 episodes? Like, let's go with 10.
All right, 10. All right,
46
so
million
10 episodes.
episodes.
4.6. I wonder,
46.
46.
$46 million per episode.
Well, didn't you say it was 46 and a half for the whole season?
No, 460.
Oh, 460. I need to open my ears more, apparently.
It happens. But
400. Dang.
all right, so and I saw a couple like thumbnails on YouTube that were like, this is garbage. So I only watched the first episode and I attributed the first episode to a world building episode. They're showing all the people, they're giving backstory. It was slow going, but it was still good. But I love Lord of the Rings. Like the Hobbit movies were terrible, right? But that's not Lord of the Rings to me. Like I want to hear about the Ring of Power. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
the Hobbit did nothing for me. The
I
good
think I
book.
only saw the first one. I
Yeah,
actually don't really remember the Hobbit series.
exactly. So what I'm saying is so far it's good. I will watch the second episode before next Wednesday just so I'm caught up for next Wednesday when Nick is back. But like I'm just adding to the TV show thing is like I watched the first episode of that new Game of Thrones show, and I missed the next 2 weeks because Bro Night didn't happen one week, and I don't have HBO Max, and that's the last thing I'm doing is paying for another streaming service. Not
Right.
happening. So like instantly back burner. So I'm looking at it as now I've got you've got next week, which is Lord of the Rings, but the following week, the Andor show comes out on Disney Plus. I'm not watching the House of I won't watch the House of Dragons now until um after the season's over, and maybe I'll buy it, like I'll look for like HBO Max around Christmas or something. It'll do like a 7-day free trial, and I'll binge all of the House of Dragons show in 1 week and then cancel it.
Yep. That sounds like a good plan, actually.
Well,
Because
that's
yeah,
the way
once
to do it.
once Andor comes out,
Yeah, Andor and Lord of the Rings is it for me, right? Like,
that's all you need.
yeah, exactly. So that's been really fun, and thanks to everybody for letting me vent, because I just needed to tell everybody like it was a tough week for me mentally about streaming and everything, just because I've been so tired. But then coming into my office here, it's not big. I think my office is 7 feet by 7 feet. It's not big. It's like a glorified closet. But everything in here was handmade by me. And like it's it's home. Like when I come in here, I instantly feel relaxed.
Yep.
And like I look at all my art on the walls and all that shit, and it's like, damn, this is my space. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it really does make me feel good. And oh my God, I just wiped the top of my desk. You should see the dust. I guess I need to clean it. Ugh. What a
Dude,
lazy.
I have some spots in my room that I need to dust as well.
Um,
Shelves and whatnot.
yeah. So also that, but as we alluded to earlier, Tuesday nights, it's community clan night, baby. 9 p.m. Eastern, Destiny 2. I don't care if you're in the clan or not. Just come play with us, because what's going to happen is you're going to come play with us week after week, and you're going to end up joining the clan. Why? Because AIE is awesome. Also, too, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern is Star Wars The Old Republic's mandatory fun night, where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. Coralie and the crew take you through and travel the galaxy and do fun stuff all the time on Tuesdays. It's a really great time. If you can get in there, and unfortunately, Tuesday nights are my stream night, so that was the night I had to make for Clan Night and Destiny. Because if I didn't have Clan Night on Tuesday and Destiny, I would be in the SWOTOR one every week, because it's that much fun. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh
also
yeah.
too, Monday nights is Guild Wars 2. Wednesday nights is Final Fantasy 14 and WoW. Thursday nights is Final Fantasy 14 has nights every week. Saturday nights is Saturday Night Lotro, which is Lord of the Rings Online. They have their mandatory fun night on Saturday nights. I tell you, all the time that AIE is fucking awesome. And it is a family friendly guild, and I swear like a sailor here. But like, it's really an awesome place. Like,
Yeah.
if you're looking for a gaming community that plays a ton of games, please check out AIE. There's no join the Discord. It's in the top right hand corner of the screen. Just do it. Because after you see how many games they actually play and how much chatter is going on every day, even if you don't join the guild, it's okay. Come join the Discord. Come see what AIE is about. We would love to have you. So
Always active. There's literally two, sorry to cut you off, Marcus. There is two active voice channels right now on a Thursday night ready for you awesome people.
yeah, it's crazy. It's 100%. It's amazing. Normally everybody we would take a break, but like Atrax doesn't have the bladder the size of a pea, and you guys
We're
know
not
I don't.
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really wanted a little bit of like conversation about games that are coming and everything that's happening in our industry because we haven't talked about this stuff in a while. And I know Gamescom was a little like a couple weeks ago, and we didn't really talk about it. And you guys heard us allude to some of the games earlier, but I just wanted to just chat a little bit about some of these games that are coming. And
Yeah.
you know, one of the first games that was announced with a new trailer, and the second trailer came out 8 years later, and that's
Wow.
Dead Island 2. Did you ever play the first Dead Island?
Oh man, yeah. I played both Dead Island 1 and Dead Island Riptide with, oddly enough, I'm house sitting for some friends. The same friends that I'm house sitting for, I played with back when, I don't know, whenever it came out. I was a teenager when it came out. But that was some great co-op times. We had such a wonderful time. I
Yeah,
think first one was way better than Riptide, but I mean, Riptide was okay,
well, I think
but
Riptide was originally going to be the second one, but they didn't have time or funding or something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And honestly, I'll be honest with you. Like, do you remember Left 4 Dead?
Oh yeah, man. I still play that every once in a while. Although actually I play Back for Blood now, which is kind of the same
I don't
concept.
even know
But
what
yeah,
that is.
dude, Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were,
No, yeah,
oh
Left 4
man,
Dead I do. I don't know what Back for Blood is.
lots of another great sidebar here. When I was a kid, and just before Left 4 Dead 2 came out, me and my friends, we lived kind of lived kind of in the country, and so I set up a tent in the way back of my property. We had an acre, so it was like, I don't know, maybe like 400 or 500 feet in the back. And because we had sprinkler systems set up out there, there was an electrical outlet. So I ran my Xbox and a TV out there with an electrical outlet, and we played Left 4 Dead. And then at night we got really scared and creeped out because we played a zombie game and it was pitch black and there was, noises coming from behind the fence. But yeah, dude, that was good times.
Yeah, man. And so that Dead Island was like the answer to no co-op game because like we played the shit out of Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yep.
Um, which was pretty cool. Another game too is like it just doesn't go away. And clearly if they keep making Sonic games, the the games sell.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
100%.
this one's called Sonic Frontiers. It's like an open world game. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Uh Another one is Gotham Knights. Now,
Oh yeah.
I'm actually excited for this game because I only played maybe the Arkham series a couple times. Like I didn't ever beat it, but
Right. Yeah, me neither actually, now that I think about it.
you know, um but it was awesome. You know what I mean? The
Oh
Arkham
yeah.
series was amazing, and like this one, the new trailer helped share the news that also confirmed Harley Quinn and Clayface will be appearing as major villains alongside Mr. Freeze the Penguin and the Court of Owls.
As
Which
what? I think your thing just cut out.
what?
Never mind.
Well, it might have.
Yeah, on, on my
It said
on my little wavelength thing, your wavelength disappeared for a second.
oh,
Just say
that's
that
weird.
one more time just
All
in
right, so the
case.
trailer that helped share the news that just came out confirmed that Harley Quinn and Clayface are appearing as major villains across alongside Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, and the Court of Owls.
That's awesome, but it makes me realize I now can't beat the game because I can't defeat a Harley Quinn boss. I'm just kidding.
Do you guys hear that? I hear crickets. Like, come on. But like I
Oh
okay,
no.
so if we're gonna talk like I have you ever seen the cartoon Batman Beyond?
Yeah,
You have?
I've seen a couple episodes.
That is my favorite Harley Quinn of all time.
Okay.
So if you guys Google Harley Quinn Batman Beyond, that's my favorite Harley Quinn of all time. I did not like the Harley Quinn in the live action.
You didn't like Margot Robbie, or you
No.
just didn't like the outfit?
I just didn't like her as Harley Quinn.
Okay,
Like the animated Harley Quinns are amazing.
I agree with you.
And I'm not saying just the looks, just the way they act. Oh, Mr. J. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Uh-huh.
like the live action Harley Quinn. I don't know. Like the role was filled right for me. It just wasn't. It's not my. It's my way of saying it's not my Harley Quinn.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
everybody has their vision of their version of a character.
100%.
I Yeah.
That's awesome though that she shows up in there. I was sad to see that you couldn't play as any villains, but I think it's cool. I'm excited for an ARPG in the Batman universe.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to bring back just some good quality games that are not first person shooters.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I like my main game is Destiny, but like, where's the Mass Effects or the like multiverses is awesome because it's like Smash Brothers, but with different characters. Like, it's not a new idea, but they're the first ones to do it other than Smash Brothers, right? Like, Gotham Knights is awesome because when was the last video game you could play that you could be Robin?
Injustice 2
Oh, yeah,
maybe, or
that's a
like the
fighting game.
Lego
Yeah.
games. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but
But
the
you're right.
Lego
But
games
you're
don't
right.
count. You know what I
There
mean?
aren't any story-based games that I know of outside of Lego that involve Robin.
But that's what I'm saying. So like it's new and fresh. The other game, have you ever heard of Hogwarts Legacy?
I've heard of it, but I was never really that big of a Harry Potter fan, so I've just kind of glanced over it. Is it really good? Like, tell me about it.
It looks beautiful. So they have some trailers that shows off like the all the houses like common rooms. Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin and Ravenclaw. And like it's cool because they confirm that you can ride on a broom, but you can't play the game Quidditch or whatever it is, like their sports game,
Oh,
because
okay, yeah,
they just can't figure that out, I guess, or they don't have the
right.
money or the time.
They're
I'm
like, we
guessing it's
can't do it.
honestly, that says to me it's coming in DLC later. You know what I
I
mean?
Yeah, either that, but I have to say that I appreciate that they've straight up addressed it instead of just waiting until for everybody to find out that it's not in the game.
And then
You
people give
know,
it bad reviews because
yeah, no Quidditch and blah blah blah. Now at least they can be like, well, we told you from the start that we tried and we couldn't get it in there, so
right,
you get what you get.
sure. And
That's cool though that. So what style of game is it? I'm sure you were going
it's
to
an
get into that, but
RPG.
okay.
And you're
A lot of
basically
RPGs
you're
coming out.
you're going to be a new person. It's like a story. So like you're going to be like an 8th grader in school and you're going to get invited to go to Hogwarts and you're going to live your Harry Potter fantasy.
Oh, that game is going to sell so much.
Oh my god, yeah. Um, you know, again, am I going to play it? Probably not. You know,
That's fair. I'll look at it, and if it looks interesting, like maybe watch a trailer or something, then I'll give it a go. I feel like
there's
there are very few games that I won't try, but I doubt I'll get hooked on it.
well, you see, that statement right there tells me you will get hooked on it. Want me to tell you why? How many times do you go to a bar with a friend and you're like, I'm just going to have one beer or
I
two
don't
beers?
go
I'm
to
going to go home. Well, okay,
never I
maybe not
never
you.
go to a bar.
All right. But, well, okay, sure. But
No,
like,
I'm just
how
kidding.
many
I
times
know
you
what you
go out with
mean.
your buddies and you're like, I'm only going to have one beer. And then you end up getting wasted because you're
Yeah,
having such a great time.
right.
That's going to be the sleeper game. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are really upset because whoever wrote the book said some stupid bullshit. And she's an idiot for saying the stuff. And like, there's some hate against the game and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm just talking about the gameplay itself. And
Right.
like, people love Harry Potter, people love the
Hmm.
stories. And when I drove to Florida, I listened to every Harry Potter book driving down and driving back because it was 24 hours each way.
Wow.
Yeah, so and it was the best experience ever because I drove the whole way, and the kids in the back were screaming and yelling, and I had my earbuds in, and I was just listening to a book the whole way down and the whole way back. It was great.
Was it a one of those Audible
Yeah.
voice acted
Oh
books
yeah.
with all
Yeah. Of
the everything?
course.
I'm sure that they would go all out for Harry Potter, but
Yeah, they do that in Star Wars. Like,
right.
I love reading. I love to read, but don't have time. There's zero time in my day that I can open up a book and read it. So I listen to everything on Amazon, for on Audible. And like I find that the Star Wars books and the Star Wars books have to be one of the best. You know what I'm saying? Um
Oh yeah. I've
and
heard nothing but stark raving reviews for the Bane trilogy.
dude, okay. If you're going to listen to a book, okay? Ever, you need to listen to the Darth Bane book. You can, okay, sidebar, you can get it on YouTube for free.
Ooh,
Just
that
Google, go to
changed the game
YouTube,
for me.
go to youtube.com, and you can type in Darth Bane audiobook 1. They'll have the whole thing right there.
That's awesome.
Then if you use VLC or whatever that software is, me and Nick talked about this a long time ago, where you can like save a link on YouTube and save it to MP3.
Oh yeah,
And then you
there's
just,
so many software. You can either download software. I think there's a way to do it through VLC,
yeah, that's the way
and
I did it.
there's websites that'll do it. And I think now, obviously, it's another subscription, but with certain YouTube subscriptions, you can download YouTube videos.
Well, either way, all I'm saying is there you can get I think the for all three books on YouTube for free. Download them and then upload them to your phone. So now you can listen to the book everywhere without having to pay for Audible.
That's awesome.
I loved it
I
so
may
much.
just do that.
Yeah, dude, you should. Like, if you listen to Darth Bane, the first book, you're going to be like, holy fuck, I need to listen to the rest of them.
I
The
can't wait.
trilogy is amazing. So, needless to say, Hogwarts, it looks pretty cool. Oh, if you're listening to this right now, it's probably going to be sold out, but I just want to mention you can get a PlayStation 5 right now with Horizon Forbidden West bundle for 529 at walmart.com right now. They're available.
Let's go. Get your
Well,
PS5s before
Nick,
they go up in price and in rarity.
all right, yeah. So can we just talk about that? So PlayStation came out and said, due to rising costs, they're raising the prices of their PlayStations. That's such a horse of shit. There's no reason for them to raise their prices. Xbox is like, we're not raising our prices. They're doing it because the PlayStations are a rarity, and they see that all these scalpers are getting $900 plus for an PlayStation. So they're like, well, let's get another $50 or $100 out of these idiots.
Did they say how much it was going to be an increase of? If it was going to be
No,
like $100, or they just
I
said
had
we're
to guess.
increasing the
Yeah, we're
prices?
increasing. Yeah, I would guess it's probably going to be $50 at least.
Right. That's rough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
I don't know if
suck less money.
your supply is already, or if your supply is already low and the demand is high, like, I mean, I guess they're probably like, well, it's a stupid idea to not put them out. But in comparison to Xbox now, in my mind, as a gamer, I don't have either system. But now I'm like, well, shoot, I might as well just get an Xbox because I already have PC Game Pass. And like, I've come to the terms that I'm not going to play all the video games ever. And if you are a PlayStation fan and you enjoy all the exclusives that PlayStation has, that's fine. I don't think there should be exclusives. I know Marcus has explained many times on the shows that that PlayStation should put them on PC. I totally agree. They would make a ton of money if they had a PC app. But like now I'm just going to go, and I think most gamers will go to where we can get the most quality games for the some of the cheapest prices. Like you really enjoy Destiny because it's well polished and you pay your you buy the expansion and you get you have your hours of content to fill what you need. Then there's me where I play like WoW and CS:GO because it's, there's no money really there, and like other games. And come on, PlayStation, if it's really that rare, like the games, they already charge $70, I think, for some of their games. I think Demon Souls is $70. Like PlayStation is it's just getting so expensive.
Well, it's because they can't compare. You can't be Sony and be going against Microsoft right now. People can talk all the shit they want about PlayStation's a better system, all that stuff. They have better exclusives. Maybe they do right now, right? Maybe they do. But what they have is a subscription service. And PlayStation cannot do that. We've talked about this on the show. You cannot go after Microsoft's market. And honestly, Sony, it's just greed, right? They say that
Yeah,
console sales, they don't make money on consoles. They make money on the games. So why wouldn't you release all of your PlayStation games on your own PlayStation store and sell all the games? And if you really want to be greedy, charge $80 for a brand new game on the PC and charge 70 for the PlayStation.
right.
Like, who
Yeah,
cares? Gamers aren't going to care. Like the new God of War that's coming out, right?
right.
That game is going to be amazing. But like Nick and I talk about it all the time. And I'm like, well, Nick, are you going to get a PlayStation 5 just to play that game? And he goes, I don't know. He's like, because I
Right.
love my computer so much. Why am I going to go spend $500 or $600 on a system for what? To play a game? Because
Yeah.
when it comes out on the PC, I'm going to play it on the PC.
Yep. You just wait for the PC release. Or anymore, the really determined people will just make their own software to play the games. Like there's PlayStation emulators out there. I doubt there's a PS5 emulator already, but like there's PlayStation
No.
3, PlayStation 4 emulators,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's the determined people will do what they want. They'll get it. And then once that gets out, you want to make it so that the people who want to do it legitimately can, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I'm with you.
It's rough.
Yeah. There's no argument here on that subject, right?
I wonder what the reasoning to keeping it exclusive to PlayStation is. Because, like, even a lot of the Mario games are on PC now. Like, I see, Team Sonic Racing or Mario. What is it? Like Mario Rabbids Olympics or whatever. But, like, I see Mario games starting to pop up. Maybe not all of them, but some of them popping up on Steam. I
Yeah.
wonder why Sony sticks to their exclusivity to PC because there's some games like Spider-Man now is on
Well,
Steam
it's because you're
finally.
double dipping. Look at Horizon Zero Dawn came out in 2017 and they released it on the PC in 2020 and it sold millions of copies.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So they're looking at it as they release a game on the PlayStation, they get 3 years, 2 years of sales on the PlayStation, then they re-release it on the PC and they double that money.
Right,
Instead of just releasing it, I don't know. I don't understand. Like for me, that's a bad bit. Well, it's a good business move on Sony, but like I don't understand why they just don't release the game on the PC on the front end. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a new Street Fighter 6 coming out. I haven't played Street Fighter 6 since Street Fighter 2 or 3. Um
I did play Street Fighter 5 for a little bit at my friend's house because he really likes the 2D fighting games. And that was enjoyable. But yeah, Street Fighter, what are not my forte, but have they come out with something new?
Well, they're coming out with Street Fighter 6 and it's
Ooh.
new mechanics. So the fighting is going to feel different, I guess. I don't really know.
Oh, so they're changing it up.
Changing it up. I think the last one that is an honorable mention that I saw was there's a new Tales from the Borderlands officially announced, which is coming out October 21st.
Thumbs down.
Is this a Telltale game?
That's what it. If it's new Tales from the Borderlands, the Tales from the Borderlands was the Telltale game. Yeah,
That's what it is.
I'm not a fan. Well, okay, I'll say this. To play, I watched Chronic play the Telltale Walking Dead, and that was pretty entertaining. But that was more because it was like a movie than playing a game.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Well, you said you were excited about it. I'm sorry, I came in swinging heavy. Why are you excited, Marcus? Hit me with it.
For what?
New Tales of the
Well,
Borderlands.
no. I like what the I like what the I like the idea of the Telltale games. I think they're great, right? But it's still meh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm not going to play it, but I think people like the Borderlands franchise. I could say,
Oh yeah.
you know what I
I'm in
mean?
that
So,
category. I love Borderlands.
and I am I'm watching the Dune trailer now.
I must not
Can you hear
fear.
that?
Yep.
You can?
Yeah.
Fear is the mind killer.
Yeah. Yep. I can definitely hear it.
I don't know if it's coming out.
Fear is the mind killer.
I don't know if it's coming out.
I'm pretty sure it's coming out into the.
Death that brings total.
It's not going through
obliteration.
Zencaster, I don't think.
Well,
Well,
if you're in the podcast, if you're listening to this, let us know in the comments
right.
or in the Discord.
Right. Well, what's interesting about this, okay, is that Dune is
I
a
will
cool,
face my fear.
like, survival
I will permit it
MMO
to pass
choice.
over
You know what I
and
mean?
Through me.
Right.
And when it has gone
But what's
past,
interesting to
I
me
will turn
is that
the inner eye to
they're
see
talking
its
about
path.
it's an MMO.
For the fear
You know what I'm
is
saying?
gone, there will be nothing.
Like, they actually use the words MMO.
It's a Dune MMO.
Right. A survival MMO.
Oh, so is it going to be like AZ
Like Ark.
or Rust or
Yeah,
Ark? Oh
Rust.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's Dune, but it's set in the
And
world of Dune.
Dune,
Oh
an
man.
open world survival MMO. Sign up for the beta.
Oh man. I know a couple people who will be super excited for that. I
Well,
know one of my buddies was really into the Dune series.
yeah, I like Dune, but like, I don't like to be pwned. I don't like to be just walking, doing my own thing, and then some high level guy just comes over and murders me because they can.
Yep.
That is
I'm totally
not.
with you. I don't like that either.
I played what was the old game? Oh shit. There was a really old ARPG. Um Not Diablo. Before that. Fuck. Ultima. Ultima Online.
Ultima.
Yeah. Like
I've never heard of that.
I played it for like 10 minutes and I shut it off because I'm just like, meh. You know what I mean?
Yep, I had some friends convince me to join a world PvP WoW server, and I didn't enjoy that either because it was just getting wrecked by high level players.
Right. Gankbox. So
Yep, 100%.
Park Beyond Hands On, a park simulator. Like these simulator games,
Oh
believe it or
yes,
not, are like thriving. Dude, there's a power wash simulator, a
Yep,
mowing
I've
your
played
lawn
that.
simulator. Like, it's crazy that these are people love it.
I'm so glad that you mentioned the Park Beyond because I actually forgot about that. When I was a kid, I loved playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3. Those games were so much fun. And Planet Coaster is a game that I played for a little bit, but I couldn't really get into it because I don't know, other games kind of intrigued me. But man, I'm so glad that you mentioned that. I forgot about Park Beyond. I'm excited. Man, I may have to make that a stream game.
Right.
Thanks for mentioning that.
And then ex GTA boss reveals more about his new open world game at Gamescom. It's called Everywhere. And it says it's an open world game that is being described as blending together gameplay, adventure, creativity, discovery, and a multi world gaming experience. Everybody go watch the trailer. It's a teaser, though. I don't know what that means. Um, they're making a Telltale series for the Expanse show, which is pretty dope. The Expanse is amazing. Um,
Haven't
and
seen it.
yeah, and pretty much, there really wasn't, um, anything really else that caught my eyes, but
Mm,
there are some really cool games that are coming out. And if you guys
yes.
are listening to this and you're really excited for a release of a game that's coming out before the end of 2023, don't hesitate to type it in the podcast channel of Working Class Nerds. Or
Yeah.
the nerds community, because like I want to know what games you're excited for. Like I'm looking forward to Gotham Knights, I'm looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm looking forward to uh Lightfall coming in February for Destiny.
Destiny.
Um,
That'll
all
be
right.
good.
It's our
I
favorite time. Go ahead.
I was gonna say before we get to our favorite time, I have two more games, a good one and a kind of a bad one that I want to mention. Uh, High on Life. It's being created by or helped co-developed by Justin Roiland, who did Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Go watch the trailer. It looks super, super fun. It's just kind of like a wacky, it almost looks like a Borderlands style. I don't know if it's RPG style, but it just looks like a fun run around, shoot some weird aliens, random goop and stuff
Random
happens, and
goop.
yeah, it's Rick and Morty style, but in a video game. It's not related to Rick and Morty, I don't think. But there's weird looking aliens, there's funny, sounds and stuff like that. So that game looks super cool too. There's not a whole lot out on that game, but it does deserve an honorable mention for me. And a dishonorable mention, actually, I have to say, is I know a lot of people are excited about this. They may get mad, but this tweet kind of just made me like, I don't think I'm going to play the game, is Overwatch 2. Now, from what I've heard, they are just changing Overwatch into Overwatch 2. I don't think it's an actual like new game.
Well, I heard there's a campaign.
Right. So like they're adding stuff to it, but I don't think Overwatch 1 will be a thing. Yep, here it is. Yeah, it replaces the original game. So you won't be able to play Overwatch 1 anymore. That will be gone. Overwatch 2 now is its own thing. And then there was this tweet. So apparently there was a rumor or some info went around about an Overwatch 2 battle pass, that there are characters, or that the new Overwatch 2 heroes are on the battle pass. So that was like the news, and people went wild like, how could new characters be on the battle pass? And then the John Spector on Twitter, the Overwatch commercial leader and VP at Blizzard, announced, this was yesterday, addressing some incomplete info posted early about our Overwatch 2 Battle Pass. We'll be sharing all details ahead of launch, but want to confirm that new Overwatch 2 heroes will be available on the free track of the Battle Pass. So it's still on the Battle Pass. You still have to go through the Battle Pass to unlock the new characters, but it's on the free track, which to me personally, I think is a really, really bad decision. forcing people to go through an entire season of battle pass, because it's not like steady progression where, oh, I get a certain amount of gold or in-game currency and then I can choose which character to unlock. It's like I have to play till battle pass level 60, and if I get all my challenges done, that's it. I have to just grind out the remaining games. Hopefully I win to get more, but especially with how meta defining new champions or new characters are, and the fact that right at launch you'll have a bunch of people, you'll have, the people who have been grinding for the last 8 hours on, like, right when Overwatch 2 launches, and then someone who wakes up because they worked a night shift or they had to go to bed early because of work, like they couldn't play right away. Now suddenly they're getting wrecked by a character that they can't even get, that they have to grind out for. Um
I
those are my
don't
opinions on it. I think that's awful. What do you think, Marcus?
I don't give a fuck. Like, good. Put a character. Like, if you need to play the game to unlock a character, that's way better than them releasing the game and you having to buy a character. Like, you want to play the GreenBot that's in the game, but you got to pay. You got to buy our digital currency to purchase that character. And that
Well,
character's OP. Like, who cares if, like, let's compare me and you. If it's, let's say, you got to hit season rank 20 in order to unlock this character, and roughly that's like 50 hours or 30 hours. Let's say it's 30 hours. It's going to take me 2 weeks to get there. It's going to take you a week, but for me, I'm like, go ahead. What do I care if I'm being wrecked? I'm going to play the game because the other characters are going to be good. Suck less and figure it out.
I guess
As long
that's
as you're
just what we need to do.
well, yeah, but like if these these games, so they've gotten away from micro. I'm doing quotation marks, the pay to win microtransactions. But what they've done is given you a battle pass, which you can buy ranks to. So really, truly, it is a pay to win system. It's just hidden behind a battle pass.
So what I'm wondering is, and maybe there's more info released on this, but then when the battle pass goes away, can you still get those characters?
Well,
And if you
usually
can't, then it's OP.
So a lot of places when the battle pass is over, and there's a character that's in there. Some do and some don't, but I would imagine what Overwatch would do is at that point, then it would be, hey, purchase this character for X amount of dollars, because by then the next season's coming with the new character.
Could be.
I played a lot of Overwatch. It was not my style of game.
I thought it was okay, but I played very, very casually, and I ran into a couple people that took it really seriously, and that immediately ruined my
Well,
experience with it.
I, they called it like a MOBA, but it just was like a squad based team deathmatch,
Yeah,
or like or domination or control, whatever game you're playing. Like, I didn't
right.
feel like it was played like a MOBA. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um,
absolutely not.
I don't know. I'm honestly, like, Blizzard hasn't come out with a game that has me so excited for, and I know there's people who play these games, and I'm happy that you love them. But for me, like, the only game that I would say I'm actually looking forward to is Diablo 4, because I've never played a Diablo game on launch. But here's the back door. I'm not going to play it on the PC. I played Diablo 3, and that's the only Diablo game I've ever played. And I've only played it on my Switch, and I love it.
All right, so you're going to go the Switch route.
Right. Only if there's a new Switch.
Okay, you don't want it on the current one.
No,
Ooh, so
the
if they, so let me ask you this though, really quick. If they make a Diablo 4 Switch, is that an instant purchase?
yes,
You
because
hear that, Nintendo?
I would leave my Switch in the bathroom, and I would just play it while I'm pooping.
Yeah, you'd get a lot of hours in that way, I bet.
Oh, to at least like good 15 minutes. Cause like when you have kids, like that's your 15 minutes of solace. Like it
Right.
takes you 2 minutes to poop, but like you need a little chill time
Yeah.
to get some peace and quiet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but again, my tinfoil hat theory on the Switch is I think that Breath of the Wild. Okay, here's my tinfoil hat. I think that Breath of the Wild was supposed to release. The Switch OLED was supposed to be the new system. Breath of the Wild 2 was not ready. So they released the Switch OLED, just released a new screen, same components, just a bigger screen to charge people and get people excited to keep buying the Switch because Switch sales went down. And they're going to wait for Breath of the Wild 2. And when they announce that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out January 1st, 2001, whatever that day is, they're going to announce the new system.
2001. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say a real date because then people are going to be like, you said it's coming
Yeah.
in this date. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant.
It was just a funny.
Yeah. I don't know what happened January 1st, 2001. But anyway, I don't know. I think there's a new Switch coming.
That would be
Between me and you, there
exciting.
has to be. And I think it's going to be launched with Breath of the Wild 2. Okay. It's our favorite part of the show. Working class questions.
Quick questions.
Usually, so we'll go back and forth on them. If
Okay.
the question is like, if I really want to ask it or you really want to ask it, you can speak up. DL Smooth asked Darth Vader or Darth Malik.
I'm gonna say Vader, mostly because I know a lot more about him and he seems super, super epic. Malik, I don't know a whole lot about, but I mean, Vader is one of, if not the best villain in cinema or even media history, really. I mean, just everywhere he goes, he invokes power, and he's not even like his quote unquote final form. If he was an actual Anakin Skywalker, he would have been even more powerful, which is terrifying to think about. Especially after like that scene in Obi-Wan where he tears apart the ship and holds the ship from flying back at like all of that, the beginning of Rogue One, all of that is just it's just epic. It's awesome. I don't know how you can, it's hard to top it.
Yeah, I would say Darth Vader too, just because he's more relevant. Darth Malik is pretty dope, but Darth Vader's you can't ever compare.
Right. Yeah. All right. Sovi asks Marcus, what exotic woods have you worked with or prefer to work with?
That's an interesting question because I work with a lot of wood and they're all hard.
Giggity.
So I would say out of the exotic woods, what do I use the most? I would say mahogany and rustic white oak or live sawn white oak.
Okay.
What do I prefer to work with? Anything but maple. But
Maple's a
here's
really hard wood,
yeah,
right?
really maple's really hard and it's hard to work with because maple, so people are like, "Oh, you want the hardest wood for a cabinet door?" You actually don't. I use a wood called poplar and it's a hard wood, but it's a little more forgiving than maple. And when you eventually dent your cabinet door or hit it, maple is so hard that the paint chips. Where with
Oh,
poplar, it's hard, but it has a little bit of give where you may dent the door, but the paint won't chip, so you won't have a giant chip in a door.
that's nice.
Yep. So those are my things uh on wood, but here's a fun fact. I'm completely allergic to oak and I use it all the time. My whole body gets itchy and like my nose like is just destroyed whenever I
Wow,
use
that
oak.
that must be awful.
It is, but I don't. I mean, it's just normal for me now.
Yeah.
There was a question for Nick, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
That's a Nick question
Paintball.
for next.
Yeah, Nick could answer that if you were in Chicago, technically. I'm sure he would answer a paintball question. For the guest, which I guess is me, if you had to go up or down a coast, what mode of transportation that is not flying or driving would you prefer to use? So, first of all, I would go up and down the West Coast because it's the
Ugh.
best coast. Awesome coast. Or actually, I would circumnavigate Australia. I think that that would be pretty cool. Um, and I would go in like a boat of some sort. I'm not super picky. I don't know much about boating, so somebody would have to take me. But if the weather was good and it was possible, sailing wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Or just, like a cruise ship is cool too, or a yacht. I don't know if I would go on like a fishing boat because I don't know. I don't think I have I've seen too much Deadliest Catch to think I could do a fishing boat. I don't know if I have the metal for that type of a job. But yeah, I would probably go for a boat. Just nice boat
So if
ride.
I'm going to read this again. If you had to go up or down a coast, what mode of transportation that is not flying or driving yourself would you prefer to use? I would love to go down the coast of the East Coast from all the way up in Nova Scotia all the way down to Miami and have a driver driving me in like a Lincoln Town car or something like that. Like a luxury like car where I can just sit in the back and just chill.
Ooh, that would be pretty awesome.
You know what I mean?
You
But
know,
but the other option would be the bougie, like I could never afford this. It would be take a fully I almost call them cast, but like fully full crew of a boat that takes me through the Mediterranean.
you know
That's
what?
my dream.
I just thought of a another cool mode of transportation, and this comes very close second to a boat ride is a train would be pretty cool too. But I don't know of any like super fancy train rides that go all the way up and down a coast that aren't just like industrial
There are
trade
them.
routes.
There are them. You can go from north to south on a train. Um, what I would, if you did that, like I would love to, like it would be wicked cool to get one of like the bed cabins where like it's a Murphy bed and like when you wake up, you like make it a couch and you have your own room and like you have like room service and stuff to where like
Well,
you don't
yeah.
have to leave your room, but you can leave your room and you got like a little bathroom for yourself. So it's like your own hotel room, but you're just cruising along the country. Like that
This
would
is
be pretty cool.
preference. I'm thinking like I've got two cars. One's like a bedroom car and one's like a dining slash entertainment car.
Yeah,
I wonder, I bet it's cheaper to rent that type of stuff than like a first class ticket somewhere.
right. That's a good question. Quinn asks, any classic viral videos you remember liking back in the day?
Charlie, don't bite my finger. That's a pretty classic one that I watched a lot. The Evil Strawberry was one that I really, really liked too. It was just some very basic animation of a strawberry talking to this baby and being like, "You want the strawberry?" Baby's like, "Yeah, I want the strawberry." And then the strawberry says, "Well, you can't have it." And the baby just starts crying. And in the end, the baby gets really mad and just like squishes the strawberry. It was super basic and weird, but it was so funny to me.
I have two. Uh, One, I can't ever not see the Leroy Jenkins video.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic too.
That I can't ever unsee. But the other side is now I'm going to show my age. Before it was, I'm doing quote unquote viral. It was the Budweiser frogs. Every time I think of something classic, I think of the frogs going Bud Wise. I don't know why. And you've never seen that, and that's what makes it
Yep.
awesome, Atrax.
You're right. Man, you read my mind. I was
Yeah.
sitting here thinking, I've never seen those.
I'm gonna say the next
That's a
one
great one.
pertains to you. You're the
Okay.
guest. Nothing better to do for 2 hours on a Thursday night.
Uh,
Off the book.
that's that's absolutely right. There is nothing better to do than to be here on the Working Class Nerds podcast.
Well, you're the official third host, so it's
Yes. The official third member, and even if there was a guest on, I would hope that they would say the same thing because comparatively to some of the other activities that people could do on a Thursday night, sitting and talking about video games and what's going on in life is a pretty it's pretty awesome. Pretty
yeah.
cool to be able to do that. Thank you for listening and submitting a question. If you and Nick had one more episode of Working Class Nerds, would I make a guest appearance and what would the title be called? That's from DL Smooth.
So this is an odd question because there's going to be a lot more episodes of Working Class Nerds. And would you make a guest appearance and what would the title be called? I'm thinking like if I was to have DL Smooth on the show, it would be like I've been thinking about doing like a community show. Like Nick and I have talked about it where like we ask 3 questions to each guest, but they're not like I'm going to ask them in a recorded call and then I'm going to splice it all together in an episode. You know what I mean? Because there's a
Okay,
lot of
gotcha.
people that we want to have on the show, but would not necessarily be an entire show.
Okay.
If that's, I think that, and then I would just probably call the episode the Nerds Community.
Okay, gotcha. That's awesome. Nerds community. You hear that? Community episode of Working Class Nerds in the mix.
In the mix.
He's working on it. That's awesome.
All right. KP Dizzle says, who is your favorite superhero in the Marvel universe and the DC universe? And what DC Marvel team ups would you want to see? Oh,
So,
this is easy
man,
for me.
dude, you had to say superhero. That's the tough part for me. Because if it's just DC and Marvel, super easy. Okay, so I guess from Marvel, I would say Iron Man is my favorite superhero. Probably hands down. It's probably that one's pretty good. Iron Man from Marvel. DC, um, I guess I'll say Batman only because he's in the same universe as Harley Quinn. Um, and he's like Harley Quinn's superhero, I guess, quote
Would you
unquote.
say your favorite team up of all time would be Batman and Harley Quinn?
Yeah, which I think they've done that already. I think there was the Batman and Harley Quinn movie. It was an animated thing. I'm pretty sure they already did that. DC Marvel team ups, I actually think that it would be pretty cool um to see the Flash and Batman, or not Batman, sorry. Wow. The Flash and Iron Man,
Oh,
because I want to see what Tony Stark could do with someone like the Flash. What sort of suits could Tony make for the Flash?
sure.
I know Batman can make cool stuff too, but I just want to know, like, because Tony Stark is so good with coming up with, solutions to problems. And so if Barry's having issues, well, I mean, hey, Iron Man's here to fix it. What about you, Marcus?
Well, my favorite superhero, as everybody knows, is Iron Man. And my favorite DC superhero would be Cyborg.
Ooh,
Um,
that's a good one.
yeah, and the reason why I say Cyborg is because I watch Teen Titans Go every day with my kid. And I love the cyborg character there. And I know that's like the comedic version of cyborg, but like it's hard not to like a guy who gave up everything to become part robot.
Right.
And because I know Atrax would do that in a second if somebody gave him, hey, we'll give you all these cybernetic implants and robot arms, and he would do that in a second.
Are you kidding me? If I could like if my hand could morph to where I could just like jam it into my computer and edit with my mind, that would be amazing.
I know. Hence the GreenBot. And if I did a team up, I would say, believe it or not, I would love to see the Flash and Daredevil.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, KP Diz.
Let's go, K-Ped. All right. Doritos asks, oh, I love this question, Doritos. Great question. What is your favorite dad joke?
I can't even answer that because the database has been actually I do have my favorite one. Why can't Cinderella play soccer?
I don't know why.
Because she keeps running away from the ball.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. You want to know mine?
Yeah.
What confuses stupid people?
Oh, tell me.
Pineapples. Confused?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Great question, Doritos.
We have that is a great question. We have a database and like all the dad jokes in there are out of control. And it's grown so much to where now in our streams, there's people that come in just to tell dad jokes.
Oh yeah. Who was it?
Or
Mordecus. Yeah, shout out to Mordecus for coming in and just like dumping an insane amount of dad jokes in there.
yeah. And I told him, I was like, make sure you're putting them in the database so these can be recorded.
Yeah, they and appreciated by many. If you've missed a couple, scroll up. There's not a bad joke in there. There's
Uh,
just dad jokes in there.
okay. Doritos asks, why did God make a platypus?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know much about platypi other than they've got like duck bills and beaver tails, and I think they lay eggs, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Hmm.
And they're also one of the few venomous mammals. The males can deliver a mega sting that can cause immediate excruciating pain, like hundreds of hornet stings, leaving victims incapacitated for weeks.
Wow, I didn't know that actually. So if I see a platypus, I'm dipping.
Yeah, so clearly, uh, you know, careful if
Yeah.
you're trying to get banged by a platypus.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you for making us aware, Doritos. Were you gonna ask the next one?
yeah. Would we have better vehicles, i.e., the proverbial flying car if Nikola Tesla were still alive?
That's a really tough question. I don't know how much impact he would have had on, like, I don't know, how much longer would he have actually lived? I don't know how old he was when he died, but let's say he was like, well, all right, I'll Google it real quick. Nikola Tesla. But it can't have been that much.
Well,
How much could he have advanced technology that far, you know?
listen, what Tesla is doing with cars is amazing. You know what I mean? I
Right.
I am not 100% sold on the electric vehicle just because I'm worried about the electrical grid. If everybody gets an electric car, we're going to blow up our electrical grid, right?
Yeah.
So, unless they can fix the electrical grid, then okay, electric cars. But like they're pretty cool and they're like spaceships. My brother-in-law just got a Tesla and it's like a spaceship. You step on
Right.
the accelerator and you're gone. It's like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Out of the stock, it's like a stock vehicle. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, and I now see that I realize it was if he's still alive, as in like if he had lived this entire time.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I feel like he would have eventually gone on. Maybe he would have moved on to other things. maybe he would have, because that's a long time to live. That's over 100 years.
Well, yeah, of course. Honestly, I think there is flying cars. They just don't talk about it. Like I think all
Right.
of this shit is already done, and it's just
Well,
like we're not there yet. You know what I mean? Like this isn't Back to the Future. You know what I'm saying?
and
Like
I
we're
also
not.
agree. I was going to say, I also agree with you in the sense of like, there's a matter of, well, we can, but should we? Because if we have flying cars, or if we even have self-driving cars, and like the electrical grid goes out, or a satellite goes out, or a tower goes out, and the system's interrupted, or it has a glitch, or you know I think you mentioned this in a most recent episode where you were saying like, I don't want my safety being left into the hands of someone who made sure that they were updating their patch, like their patch was updated. It should be someone who is actually driving their car. I don't
Yes.
know. It's just, to me, it's kind of flying cars. Dude, there's so many car accidents already. I don't really trust that many people to be able to fly.
Well, I think if there's a flying car, it's going to be self-driving.
Which, that's like, to me, that's even crazier that you would get a car that would fly itself. Like, I don't know. That's just, you're literally flying in a death box. That's sketchy to me.
Yeah. Atrax, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on twitch.tv/A_Atrax. If you want me to make a video because you like the stuff that's on Marcus's or Chimeri's YouTube channel, then you can email me at greenbotvideos@gmail.com.
And
And
everybody just know that it's not as expensive as you would ever think.
right. Yes. If you want a short, if you want a longer video, and I mean, it doesn't have to be like gameplay related, if you've got, hey, I want to make some sort of cool music video, put that together or whatever. I'm excited to get started on, other projects too. So if you have a video you want me to make, then yeah, be sure to email me greenbotvideos@gmail.com, and then support Marcus's YouTube channel because then he pays me more money because the views go higher. So that's where you can find me and all the cool stuff that I've been doing.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.